Hi everyone, here is my garden again. I grew it last fall into the spring and then took a break for the summer and early fall to grow outside. And also I had some issues going on that I can talk about later where I wanted to take a break. But I'm starting back again in October and it's been growing for a few weeks now. And it's time to thin them out, and I'm going to go through the process over the next few weeks. But the nice thing about thinning them out, and I may have needed to start this earlier, but the nice thing about thinning them out is that you do get these little microgreens that you can put on top of your salads or pastas or rice dishes, or just eat on their own. I dropped some by accident and my dog thought they were pretty tasty, so I think they would be good just on their own. But I do have a tip. On some of these, I cut it down to just one seedling, but it looked so lonely and weak looking that some of them I left two. And I'm not sure that was the best idea, but you can see how it grows throughout the next few weeks throughout the video, so you can get an idea of which choice is better. But I think I thinned these out a little bit too late, a few days too late, so they were growing a little bit weak because, initially they had the support of the other seedlings and then I cut them away and then now they're just sitting there on their own. So like this one I left a couple seedlings and I still didn't trim the ones in the middle. I just went through the process and thinned out a few of them, and then I'm going to continue with the rest. And yeah, they're looking really good. I probably need to clean off the garden a little bit since it's been growing for a few weeks and starting to accumulate a little bit of dust, and you can see a little bit of the fertilizer water kind of being around the edges of the tubes. So I just need to spray it with a little bit of water and just wipe it down. But the seedlings are looking pretty strong. This is the kale, one of my favorite ones, but I don't use it as often, even though I really like it as much as I do the tatsoi. And my mom and friends always request those, so I grew a little extra of the tatsoi so I can give it away. And the tatsoi luckily grows from multiple cuttings, so I can cut it back, harvest it, and then let it grow back, and then harvest it again and let it grow back, and do that multiple times. I don't even know that it would stop. I think I harvested it maybe like 10 times or something last season, and it was still growing. However, the lettuce, really you can only harvest it a few times. Here's what half of after I trimmed everything up, half of the microgreens look like. So perfect for us to top it on top of some pasta and eat it for lunch. So now you can see it after another week how it looks like. It looks like it has filled in a bit. And that first one had 2 lettuces, and now this one has 1 of each. And you can see it's filling up the space really well. But like I was saying earlier, the lettuce really only does like 2, maybe 3 cuttings, and then the plant is done and you need to replace it. While the tatsoi you can keep harvesting it for a while, maybe like 10 or more. So that one is much better for the buck because you only buy 1 plant and then you can keep harvesting it for weeks, while the lettuce is only 2 to maybe 3 clippings, and then unless you're just clipping 1 or 2 leaves, and then that's a little different. But if you're clipping it down to only leaving 2 or 3 leaves at the end, then you only have like 2 or 3 clippings you can do. And I'm growing 2 types of tatsoi, the red and the green. The red is a little stronger flavored, and I know some people that don't really like the flavor as much as the green. Just like with red mustard and green mustard, it's a little stronger, but I do like the flavor. And here I think I'm going to pull this back up again, but I waited a little too long to trim the red tatsoi, and it looks like it didn't grow as fast as these other ones, the green tatsoi, where I trimmed it back to only have one seedling, and they grew much faster, and so did the lettuce. Grew much faster when I trimmed it back early. I thinned it back early so it only had one seedling in the pod, and it was able to take the full nutrition and grow and take up the space, while other pods where I left 2 or 3 seedlings, or I waited a little bit too long, the pod didn't fill up as well. And then I'm also doing an experiment. Some of these I'm leaving too, just to see how it turns out. I'm curious if the leaves will stay smaller or if they're going to expand to as large as the ones that have only one seedling within the pod. So I have a couple tatsois that have 2 seedlings or 2 plants in there, and just see how it's different. Like what I'm guessing is maybe it might get a little more disease because it doesn't have as much airflow, or maybe it doesn't have as much nutrition, so it might grow smaller or grow slower. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated, and you can see this is after 2 to 3 weeks after the initial video, so they're growing very quickly. And I shot this video and I'm posting the video now because I'm going to get ready to harvest it within the next week or so. You can see some of the leaves on the ends are dying back. I actually am a couple days late on fertilizing it, so I need to add new water and fertilize the garden. But you can see everything's growing really nicely. The color looks really good on the lettuce. The tatsoi is growing great. It's growing really fast. I don't remember it growing this fast last season. So last season was the very first time I grew a garden, although I've been using an AeroGarden, a smaller tabletop hydroponic, for years, maybe 5 years or so, and I've been really happy with that. So I decided I wanted to upgrade to a larger hydroponic garden, and this one looked like it was really easy to use. So I purchased a used one online on Facebook Marketplace, and it was a little bit dirty, so I had to clean it off. I don't necessarily advise that because that did take a long time, and being new to it was kind of not that fun because I had to spend like a week cleaning it and letting it air dry and then cleaning it again just to make sure I got everything off, because I wasn't sure what the previous owner had, like if it had a disease or maybe bugs or mites or something that I would want to make sure it's really clean. So I did take my time to clean it, which took about a whole week with a lot of cleaning, and it would have been more fun to just unpack it and to start growing. But I did save some money, and it was an easy way to, since it was more affordable, it was easier on the budget to be able to experiment, which made it not as intimidating for me. And now, if you notice, I had some empty pods there, and I did that on purpose because last time it was too full. So I'm starting, last time it was too full because I had them all filled up. So now I left some empty, and I'm starting some new pods. I'm guessing within a few weeks, my lettuce will be, growing back from trimming and from harvesting it. So I'm going to fill in those little pods in some of the bare spots, and I'm going to, it'll hopefully fill in nicely and not be too full. And here's a picture or a video of my dog where I dropped some at the end, and she ended up surprised. I was going to pick it up because I didn't think dogs liked sprouts. These are the tatsoi sprouts, and she really liked them. I don't think she knew how to eat them, so she's like seeing if they taste good or not, but she ended up eating all of them. It was just a few, so I wouldn't worry about upsetting her stomach. And this video was shot beforehand, so later it did not upset her stomach, and she hasn't luckily jumped up on the hydroponic garden to try to get more. So thanks for watching, and I hope you were able to find something helpful, and check back later for more videos on the garden hydroponic.